He turned around. He's like, I have 4 championship titles or whatever he said. And then I'm like, you look like Will Ferrell. Welcome back to another episode of City Refs, the unofficial officials. I'm your boy Mondo, and we have our new bodybuilder, Danny Cow. And then we have our special guest here, my boy Cam Stewart. He's been traveling with me every year to different MLS stadiums. So we're going to, kind of compare STL's pregame atmosphere, to what we've been to. Welcome on the pod, brother.
Yeah, thanks, man. Fan since day one, so happy to be here.
Yeah, well, cheers.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
That was kind of, that's much better.
Yeah, it's the first guest like in this setup here.
Yeah. So you guys went to a game that I was not able to go to.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit something about your pregame, maybe your initial thoughts.
Yeah. Well, initially, disappointed I didn't get the full city ref experience with both of you.
I know. Let me tell you.
But it started off a little bit rocky. We Ubered to the stadium pretty early, but our Uber driver was not familiar with really the St. Louis area
Or how to work Google Maps.
Yeah, how to follow a GPS. So we pretty much gave him step-by-step directions to get there, which something we've seen at another stadium, and I think it was Denver that did this. They had a fan bus. It was basically like an old school bus, or kind of transformed into a party bus. But you met up at like a local bar that was kind of their like hub for one of the supporter groups, and the supporter group ran the bus, and you could pay like
$20.
$20 or something, and they'd drive you to and from the game. They had coolers stocked with beer and drinks and stuff, and it was like
It was sick.
yeah, kind of like a fun environment on your way to the game, so you can kind of get hyped up already before you're even like there. So that's kind of a cool idea. I don't know if any of the St. Louis groups do anything like that, or
I don't know, because everything's
locally?
right there. Like they have
Yeah.
Schlafly.
Because they
the pitch.
meet basically at the stadium. It's just across the street.
Yeah, and I need to think, like, the stadium was pretty far from that pub. It was
Yeah,
a good,
yeah.
good 20, 30
Well, you got to
minutes.
think. I think St. Louis is one of the only places that's actually in the downtown. The layout for St. Louis is very unique compared to other stadiums.
Yeah.
Like Kansas City is 30 minutes away from the city.
Yeah.
In the middle of a furniture parking lot.
I don't know, like, it's hard to compare the pregame to, like, Kansas City, because there's not much, right? You just go to the game, and that's
Okay, so that's another thing that we can get into is you guys have been going to MLS games together for quite some time.
Yeah, 2015, baby.
To where now he's basically cheating on you with me, and now I'm
Right.
cheating on him.
Yeah.
So
Well, me and you go to the STL game. So we go to Austin coming up real quick. So I think by the time this pod drops, we will have known how dope Austin was. We'll see.
Yeah. No, I think one of the benefits of the St. Louis Stadium is definitely the location, because Denver, KC, I think Columbus, maybe, they're all like kind of out in the middle of nowhere. So if you're wanting to go to a bar before or after the game, you've got a long way to go. There's nothing like you can just walk to like you can do at the St. Louis Stadium.
Right.
yeah, and it's being so new, and from what I hear, they're basically going to try to do like a ballpark village. Like if you've ever been to St. Louis, the Cardinals have, basically they own their own bars and everything right across the street from the stadium, which is what I hear City's going to do. They bought a bunch of the buildings next
That
door.
would be sick.
And they're going to be doing condos and all kinds of stuff.
I wonder how much those condos, like there's apartments above the Peel in Edwardsville. How much are they?
They were like
600,
700 grand or something.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, you got to think one Cardinal Way, which is in Ballpark Village, it's about $5,000 to $6,000 a month per unit.
Right. If this podcast
for a
starts
studio.
booming.
Yeah, for a studio. So go look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, the pregame and the atmosphere is pretty good compared to the rest. It's just like, it's just different.
Yeah, I mean, even having a pregame area with different groups set up and kind of dedicated space is already a step above, like,
Right.
Half the places we've been. So I'd say that was pretty good. The only thing I would say about the area by Schlafly, which we were there pretty early, So it wasn't crowded yet, but it was a little bit of a small space. Like if it, I don't know, like bumping up to game time, if it's really crowded or not. But that
Right.
seems like that could be.
Yeah, there
something
is.
that might
Like
be an
if you wait a little bit longer,
Yeah.
like it gets packed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're right. I know in Nashville, we went to a USA game.
Yeah.
That pregame was nuts. I happened to be, sick. We had went out the night before, and I got a little too toasty, and it was hot that day. But my point is that pregame, like they had this giant, like what is it, the floaty, the bounce house.
The bounce
thing?
houses, yeah, that was something. The American Outlaws, I think, is the group.
Yeah.
The U.S. group. And that was like in an abandoned parking lot, like probably half a mile from the stadium.
Yeah, you could tell Cameron was drunk because they're like, "Come follow me to this abandoned parking lot." And he's like, "All right, let's go."
No,
Now, they had bounce houses?
Yeah, like a giant bounce house, like slide.
yeah, like obstacle course, and
Yeah.
and then they had like all kinds of food. It was
Free.
free, but I think donations were
Yeah.
what you were supposed to do. But there was like
Yeah.
hot dogs, burgers, like all this stuff, and different like
So
vendors and all kinds of stuff set up there. That was
Now, who were you going there to watch?
USA versus Panama, I think.
Ah.
that was
okay,
like
so the
a 1
men's national
o'clock
team?
game.
1:00 game.
It was
Wow.
very hot.
Yeah, so that was fun. I mean, it's just crazy to see like the different, stadiums or different games throw their own unique pre-games. So I mean,
Yeah.
that was cool. And St. Louis is unique with having it like right there, Schlafly. And I don't know if it's true if they're going to rename that street to Luligan Street.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
But I also heard a rumor it could be City Ref Street.
That one I haven't heard, but hey.
I've heard that one too.
Yeah, we might have to
I'm the one who started that.
reach out to the mayor and see if we can't make that happen.
Yeah, but I mean, so we got there. We went into Schlafly. We got a few brewskis. We came
Yep.
out, and then we met Jeff from Fleur de Noise. Is that how you say that group?
The Fleur de Noise?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that's how you say that.
And then Jeff, he was a drummer, right?
Yep.
He said they practiced like a ton during the summer, at least once or twice a month, which is a lot, for.
Something you just do for fun.
I thought it was like once a week.
Oh, maybe you did
It was a lot. It actually was surprising.
once or twice a week.
Okay.
Maybe it
that
was a
sounds
week. That's more.
That definitely sounds a little more surprising than once a month. I was like, once a month?
Like, okay.
We
So they
practiced
practiced
once
5
all
times.
summer.
So they had 5 practices before.
Oh man! But do you want to talk about that dude's epic way to get out of a combo?
Oh yeah, for sure. So we chatted with him for like 5 or 10 minutes or so, and then we kind of had that pause for 5 or 10 seconds where neither party had anything else to say. So typically at that time you'd just say hey, nice meeting you, have fun at the game, and then you'd part ways. But so Jeff's strategy was he just looked up at the sky and very slowly turned around and then walked away.
He just walked away.
It was like a 15-second turnaround.
Yeah, it was so slow. It was just. Then he's gone.
There's, all right, there he
Didn't say
goes.
anything?
No, yeah, I was assuming it
looked
was
up
because of
and
him.
then just walked away.
Yeah, the
That's
weird thing
epic.
is he looked up, but it was right into my eyes because I was taller. But
Interesting. Well, that's
Oh,
one way to
man.
make an exit.
Right. It was crazy because I mean we didn't stay there long because obviously we went to get in the line to get our special spot, and then there was a blues player that showed up.
I did see that on social media that old Sonny, Oscar Sundquist, made an appearance there at the
Yeah,
pregame rally,
we'll show the picture on the screen.
which is interesting because that's actually an old or ex blues player. He's not currently a player.
Yeah, Daniel showed
So
up.
he actually came back and celebrated with St. Louis.
I know. I mean that was
pretty
probably 5 minutes after we left.
I think he's dating a St. Louis chick, so that's why. But he didn't want to leave St. Louis. That was the other thing too. Like he loves the city, and it's a pretty common theme with players who come and play here, either Cardinals players, Blues players, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see it with City players too, where they just never really leave. They just
Yeah.
kind of make this home because it is nice. Like if you're a professional athlete, kind of like the Messi thing, where you can come here and act like a normal person and literally just blend in with the crowd and do whatever you want to do most of the time.
Right. Yeah, and our players are kind of spoiled too. Like everyone loves them anywhere they go.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. But so we get in line and we talk to. It's the same people in line every time.
Like to get into the stadium.
Yeah, because everyone wants to get to their spot.
Oh yeah.
So
Definitely.
so I mean, you know everyone that's there, and it's just awesome because we're talking to everybody, and they're like, "Yeah, I like to sit, mid level in the supporter section. I like to sit here." Like everyone has their spot, and it looked like once we got to our spot, we realized we didn't have to run because they just like held our spot for us. But man, we took off running.
Yeah. So, what did you think about that?
Yeah, Pops. Could you try?
I'd say that was actually one of the more like different aspects of the game because I've never gotten to the game that early before. We were in line for like, I don't know, an hour or something before the game, which
Hour and a half.
the like courtyard area outside the stadium is pretty cool. Like they had, a small soccer field, some giveaways, stuff going on. So that was kind of a nice hangout spot as well. Like in addition to the Schlafly area. But yeah, we're all just kind of like waiting. It reminds me of like Black Friday shopping, people waiting outside the store to get in for their their
Yeah,
deals.
it does.
And so like they finally let you in. You just like smash through, show them your ticket real quick, and then you like sprint to your spot, and you're just like, I don't know, it's just
the
like
kid down.
pushing people down. No,
Yeah. So they announced that they opened the gates at, let's say, an hour and a half before the start of the game. And so people are like on their phone, like, and as soon as it's like 6:30 or whatever, or 6 o'clock, they're like, "Hey, it's 6 o'clock." They start freaking out. Did you notice that?
They go crazy because there's gates on the other side,
Right.
And everyone thinks that they probably are getting in, sooner. But
Which has happened to us.
has it happened?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It
because-
happened to us one game where our gate remained closed longer than the other one, and by the time we got down there, I mean, there was parts that were already filled.
And luckily, we got down there and they're like, "Hey, this is their normal spot.
Yeah.
Let them in."
Yep.
So I mean, that worked out. And then, so on that note, because like that's like the main right when we got in, and then there's a couple people that came up and talked to us. So a new segment, honorable mentions, I wanted to bring up.
All right, we got a new segment.
Yeah, we're switching it up this week. First one, my boy Steven and his wife, like right when we got to our spot, because this dude was out of breath. He needed a drink. They brought us a couple Blue Lagoons, had us nice cold brewskis ready for us.
Wow.
Yeah, and then we're giving Steven a red card because he took too long to get us seconds.
Oh, so Steven was there?
Yeah, he just went to
Okay.
go get more beer, and a cameraman came by.
man. A red
Gotcha.
card for going to get us beer?
He took too long.
Damn.
I didn't know if he was coming back.
That's harsh.
Mondo is he gives away red cards pretty often.
Yeah,
he,
I'm
he
like-
goes, he goes straight to red.
You
pretty
could say
every time.
I'm like the Martha Stewart of red cards.
Oh yeah, the
Oh,
Martha
man.
Stewart of red cards.
Yeah, that's a good one. So
it's a throwback.
Thanks again,
There's a little
Steven.
backstory to that.
yeah, so thanks again, Steven, Ashley. Those beers came in clutch. The next one was Diego. I mean, you remember this?
Oh, yeah,
guy coming
Diego.
up. Yeah, so he came up. He runs the City SC community page on Insta. He's going to school to be a journalist, I think. he
Yeah,
said.
super nice kid.
Yeah, go follow him on Instagram if you're not already. His content's pretty good. Not pretty good, it's great. So
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, no, for sure. Give him a follow.
Yeah. And then the next one, Tim Hanley, I think was his name, right? 4-time MLS Cup champ as a goalkeeper coach, right? That dude was hilarious.
Yeah, he's a legend. We were giving him a little heckling, and he was giving it right back. So
Yeah.
had some good exchanges with him. Normally, they just kind of, everyone else was just ignoring us, but he was giving it right back.
Yeah, he turned around. He's like, I have 4 championship titles or whatever he said. And then I'm like, you look like Will Ferrell. He's like, what?
Wait, so he was actually talking to you guys?
Yeah.
'Cause most of the guys that we've interacted with, they'll like give you a smile or you
Right.
know, gesture or something.
Yeah,
but
he kept
they
coming
never-
back.
They never really like engage you in.
I gave him a red card, obviously, like instantly. And he's like, no warning? I'm like,
Which
nope.
is what, yeah, you just go to red.
Yeah, so this is the best
fast.
picture I could get of him. He wasn't able to come take
Wow,
a picture.
it's a
with us.
beautiful picture.
Oh, yeah.
I wish you guys could see it. If you guys are just listening to the audio, you can't. But if you're watching on YouTube,
little side view.
a little side profile.
So I mean, that's probably the best interaction that we've had during warm-ups with the player.
I don't know, the one with the goalkeeper where he smiled at us, and then who was that? I forgot which one it was.
Thomas.
Yeah, it was Thomas.
Yeah,
And then he got scored on a lot.
Yeah, but then again,
We
that
felt
was just a
bad.
smile. Yeah, but that was good.
Tim refused to tell us his name. We had to Google him and figure out who it was.
That's right. I was like, what's your name? And he wouldn't tell us, so we Googled him really quick.
Yeah, because he had a TH on his
Oh, okay.
jacket.
Yeah.
And so we figured out who he was.
And it quick.
And called him out quick.
We're like, Tim. And he's like,
It's been like Tim Howard.
yeah. I kept calling him Will. He didn't like that. But so we get into the game. What are some highlights for you during that game?
Yeah, so the biggest thing for me was
And this was the Houston game.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
This is the
Yeah, let's-
Houston game. There was an incident in the game where a Houston player was shown a red, and then they reviewed it and went back and gave him a yellow. But like, so I mean, I didn't honestly even see what occurred to go for this red card or yellow card. But all I know is the whole section was just going nuts. And so I was just passionately booing and yelling at this dude. And I had no idea what happened, but like I couldn't, I was just so like wrapped up in the emotion of the whole crowd that we were just screaming at this dude. Like, I have no idea if it should have been a red card or a yellow card, but I was adamant
Yeah.
that it was a red.
And that's the thing about St. Louis fans, man. We defend our players.
Yeah, rightfully so.
And when it comes to us, we give red cards for, the simplest things.
Yeah, it doesn't take much.
They just look at us, and we're like, get out of here.
So we were definitely on the board with the red card. The review, I thought that was probably not. They shouldn't have went to a review there. I thought that should have just been an automatic red. Let him go. He didn't even protest. He went straight to the locker room.
I mean, he ran up to get in it. I mean, that's like retaliation or whatever. They say Tim Parker fell into him,
he did.
and Gio fell. Who cares, man? Get him out of here.
Gio does fall a little bit easy.
Oh, I know.
You
And
wanna get
speaking
into that?
on that,
You
yeah,
want to get into that a little bit?
this guy is on the ground, like just holding his knee by himself off to the side, and his whole team is like, about to fight, throw hands, and he's still on the ground.
Well,
Like,
he
what
was
would you do?
injured.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We like Gio, but come on now.
You got to sell it, man. You got to act like you're dead.
Yeah.
I tell you what, he's a good salesman.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he went straight to red.
Well, is he though? Because he went for the
he's
red
drawn.
after the guy like ran up.
Yeah, but he's drawn PKs. I think he draws a lot of fouls.
Well, I don't think the St. Louis fans agree with that.
No, and that's one thing that St. Louis fans
They're
like
harsh
the
critics.
hard nosed, like big bodied. They don't really get into the whole. I don't know what you would call it either.
Yeah.
I mean, what would you call that?
I don't know.
Exaggeration.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
The exaggerating flopping.
The
or whatever.
theatrics.
Yeah.
The
theatrics. There you go. That's why we
of
brought him on the
soccer.
pod.
Yeah, the theatrics of soccer turns a lot of people off here
Oh,
in the
for sure.
Midwest.
Yeah. Growing up, like me playing, I hated just flopping. Like if it was
yeah.
a goal scoring opportunity, I was gonna stay on my feet until they dragged me down. 'Cause
To my detriment, I think I stayed up.
Yeah, I'd rather get the the scoring chance off than give someone else a free kick.
Yeah, so it is what it is. But yeah, no, nothing personal with Gio. We still love him, and we hope that he draws a lot more fouls for us because Leuven will come up and
Yeah, I think they
Score some
probably
free- some free
had
kicks.
something worked out. Like, hey, you fall down, I'll score the free kick.
yeah. Maybe that's why he gave him the penalty.
Yeah,
That was the same game, right?
was it that game? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he did. He gave him the penalty. Gio's like, hey man, please, I need this bonus.
So what
this
did you
week."
think about that? I don't know. I can't recall a game where I've seen a player, basically ask to take the PK.
Yeah, well, I've seen a few that want, they
initially
want to score
Leuven-
goals.
Initially, Leuven said no.
Yeah, I saw that. He's like, nah, and then he came back. He's like, I forgot there's cameras watching. Here, you take it.
Which is pretty cool. Shows he's a team player because that would have made him the leading goal scorer for the team,
Yeah,
and which now Gio is.
yeah. If we get either of them on the pod, we'll have to delete all the nonsense we talked about Gio. But we'll ask.
No, we'll get into it with him.
We'll
I'm
ask.
sure he'll.
Yeah, we'll
I'm
ask
sure he'll
Ruben,
take some constructive criticism.
what was going through his mind when he gave the PK. Would you give away the PK? You already scored a goal. You're up 2-0.
Your first brace, I think.
Yeah. Wait, what is it? His first
I think
brace?
it would have been. Yeah.
What would you do, Cameron?
I mean, if I was going for my first brace, I probably just would take it. But I mean, also when somebody's begging you to let them take the PK, you feel bad. So I mean,
That's true. And you don't have a lot of time to decide.
right?
What about
No.
you, Daniel?
But you already know that not only coach is probably not going to be too happy about it.
I don't
too.
think he goes, I wasn't, happy or whatever he said. He's like, but it worked out.
Yeah, and I support my guys.
Yeah.
I let him, yeah. I mean, Bradley was super cool about the way he answered that, but he wasn't happy about it.
Yeah, no. Would you
So-
take it?
No, I think in that situation, I'll let him take it too. Because I think it just helps build that camaraderie, and we need that.
Yeah, I think I would have been like, watch this. And then just go shoot it. I don't know. That's a tough spot. I guess you won't know until you're in the situation. Because like
Yeah,
you said,
in the
someone's like,
moment.
begging you for it. And you're like, what do I do? Because then you look like,
And if you miss after that, then you really
Oh
look
my
bad.
yeah. I think either.
gotta make
yeah.
You missed that shot.
More pressure is probably on Gio
Oh,
for
100%.
begging for it.
Yeah.
And then shooting it. Oh, he's
Just
lucky
a
he made
massive
it.
amount of pressure because,
Yeah.
I mean, it's already kind of a mind game to make, penalty kicks.
Not for you. You said you score on Berkey.
Well, yeah, but I would play the mind games. I would be the one playing the mind games. I would get him to go one way. I'm going the other way. Actually, I'd probably just go right down the middle.
Right down the middle.
Yeah.
I have one move for PK. I'm not going to say it. Just
I
in
would
case.
look at a corner.
He knows the move.
I would look at a corner or maybe like twitch my knee
little
one
shimmy?
way.
Yeah, do a little shimmy. Yeah.
But
Wait till you see this guy at the F45 training. He does a lot of shimmies.
we're going to have to get out there and shoot some PKs, and I'll show you guys the thing too. I was number 9 back in high school.
That's right.
Still
Hey,
got it.
varsity, bro.
Oh man. Oh, so just the
What about you, Cameron? You play any soccer?
I do. I'm still the at least third or fourth leading goal scorer on the top co-ed squad in the area.
Yep, Division two.
Yeah, Division 2 big time. So still just keeping up with it that way.
Hell yeah.
and he
that's
also
awesome.
played for Illinois College.
Yes. I see. Whoop whoop.
Illinois College.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
position?
A lot
the
of
big
people
time.
have a lot of people have that same response.
I am a center back.
Okay.
In the previous life, in co-ed, I just stand around mostly. But
yeah.
CV makes sense. You're about as tall as Lucas Bartlett.
Yeah. And you know what's
So-
funny too is last time we talked to Bartlett, I was like, my boy Danny played varsity. And he's like, oh yeah?
Yeah. Long time ago, buddy. You were still in middle school.
yeah.
He probably
How old
was,
is
though.
Bartlett?
I don't know.
I mean, he's like
20.
5
early
years younger
20s.
than us. We're not that old.
No.
pretty old.
We're probably 10 years older.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Cameron's probably older. But man, that was funny.
That's what's crazy, though. Like, you look at some of these guys like Miggy. We're like 15 years older than him.
yeah. 12.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And it's kind of weird. You know what? We talked about this in previous episodes about us asking for autographs because we didn't get that when we were younger kids. And so like now
Yeah.
it's like awesome, But to your point, like these guys are so young and we're like, 30-year-olds.
Yeah.
Let me get your autograph,
Yeah. But they're super cool. So
Yeah.
they're
They don't
professional.
care.
No.
But moving on, let's get into the chants. You have a favorite chant?
Mine is what is?
Well, just
I can't
chant
remember
it.
how it goes now. I mean,
The Berkey chant?
there is some profanity in the chant. It's the one.
Oh.
We'll go
We'll go effing mental.
mental. Yeah, it's a fairly long chant.
But I like that little hook, yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
just
that
can't get
part.
enough. Is it that one? Or which one is it?
Yeah, score a goal and we'll go effing mental.
Yeah, but I can't remember the other part of it before that. But
Yeah.
because it's long, but that's the part that I like the little catchy rhyme
Oh,
part.
score a goal or something that's very simple.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Oh, the supporter group's gonna roast us. We don't.
I can't remember. I mean, I've only been to the one game, so I don't have all the chants memorized. But
We go to everyone. I still don't.
No, me neither.
they were all catchy enough, and they were constant. Which at other stadiums we've been to, there's been more like lulls, and so the people in charge of keeping the chants going are constantly doing that. That's probably why you hear the same ones over and over. But I mean, there's not that many chances you can chant throughout the game.
Yeah, I would say my favorite one. I don't think they did it last game. The Tina Turner one. I want to dance with somebody.
Oh, yeah, they didn't do it the last
Yeah,
game,
I
but
love that chant. People hate on that.
I think mine is, because I'll sing it for like the whole week leading up to a game day. Oh, St. Louis City.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just so catchy. Like, I literally just find myself just chanting that for no reason.
Yeah, that's a good one too. But like on those chants, how does it compare to like being in the supporter section? So when we travel to go to these MLS games, like we sit in the supporter sections, and now it's going to be tough because if we go to supporter sections, I talk to him. I'm like, I'm not wearing anyone else's jersey, so luckily I can dress up as a referee. But we go in the supporter section because we want to experience, what it's like in that stadium. So what do you like? How do you think it compares?
Yeah, so like overall environment and like kind of the loudness and the constant chanting was right up there. I mean, I think probably the worst environment we've been to was in Columbus. The stadium was like half full. The supporter section was like a third way full. I mean, it was a good game to watch.
A great game.
But as far as like the actual environment of the stadium and like the supporters and all that, that was probably the worst. The best one we've been to would be Atlanta on their inaugural season.
Atlanta was nuts.
Which they were at.
Yeah, but they got like 60,000 people in there.
Yeah, it was at, I think Texas Tech was the stadium they were at initially, and it was there were so many people there. That's
when they chanted.
That's why.
I mean, you could hear it around the stadium.
So that's a little bit of an unfair comparison because their stadium was enormous.
Yeah, that's true.
And it was packed because it was their first season.
Yeah.
So like it was very loud there. But as far as like the smaller like normal like stadiums, I think St. Louis is definitely right up there with like the loudest and the most engaging. And it's different to be in the supporter section when you're a fan for a day, just at the game to have fun, and when you're at the game with your team, it's like a different level of passion, I guess you would say.
Yeah, it's just
it kind of puts you more in the game, and you got more of a stake in it. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I thought it was great throughout.
Yeah, I would say Columbus. Like, I'm a David Villa fan through and through, so we got to go see him play there, and so like I was hyped up, and I was wearing his jersey like underneath a black shirt because I didn't want to get caught in the supporter section. And at the very end of the game, I'm like, man, everyone's cool, like it's fine. I could have just worn my jersey. And then a New York City fan walks through, and they're like, get out of here! Start throwing stuff and whatever. I'm like, thank God I didn't wear this. But to your point, Atlanta, like that's an unfair comparison, but it was awesome. I remember going to the bathroom, and everyone in the bathroom was just chanting like "Ole, ole, ole, ole." Like it was just I've never experienced anything. That's kind of weird to say, but it was just different. It was different.
But you don't chant in the bathroom?
We were in Atlanta,
mostly at home.
Yeah, mostly at home when I'm by myself.
Yeah.
I'm chanting, and then I realized Daniel's in the shower.
Sometimes after like a Taco Bell run.
Oh man! Oh, speaking on Taco Bell, we finally Uber home. So we tried to find those street tacos that we had.
Yeah.
We couldn't find them anywhere.
Maybe it was just like a little pop up or something.
No, like we ended up finding it like later. So we get the Uber, and then we're driving off, and it was a street over. We didn't walk far enough.
Yeah, we walked like 20 blocks looking for this place.
Yeah, and we almost made it. Yeah, we stopped at so many places. This lady gave us like a free cold ass pizza.
Yeah,
it was terrible, but we needed it. But the point of the Taco Bell story, we're like, hey man, can you please stop and get us Taco Bell on the way home? We'll give you a cash tip. We'll make it worth it, whatever. And he's like, oh yeah, that's fine. And he gets closer. He's like, actually, buy me a beefy 5-layer burrito. We'll call it even.
Yeah, we're like looking at the menu. He's just like, ooh, you know what? That beefy 5-layer. I'm like, dude, you got yourself a deal. That thing's like $2.
Yeah, we had like $20 to give him, and he's like, just give me the beefy 5-layer.
Like,
Dang, that's awesome.
Oh man.
But before you guys got an Uber, you guys were trying to get into the after party at the stadium, which I don't know if they do that at every stadium, but St. Louis City, after every home match,
out of all the games,
they actually have one of the club sections open for everybody, and
almost everybody.
Well, yeah,
we found this out. So
yeah, so tell us a little bit about that.
So I'm telling him, I'm hyping it up because we had experienced it the first time. I was telling Cameron how awesome it was, so he was hyped up to go. And we're about to walk up the stairs to get to the Ultra Club, and there's a security guard, and she's like, "You ain't getting by me." I'm like, "Whoa, what's going on?" Nope, you can't get in. And we're like, "What? The game just ended. Like we were just there last week." And she wouldn't let us get by. So, we try to get sneaky and go around and go up the elevator and go in. And there's another security guard who wouldn't let us in. And so I tried to play the referee card, and he wouldn't let us in.
Dang.
So then we did the walk of shame, pat down, and she looked happy knowing we didn't get in.
Oh yeah, she was stoked that we couldn't get in. She's like, "I told you so." I'm like,
yeah. Like,
all
all
right,
right,
we're,
lady.
Dang.
yeah, we're busy. Sorry, we
Yeah.
gotta go.
Yeah, we got other things to do.
So then you guys leave there.
We go to Maggie's for like 5 minutes,
Yeah.
and it was way too crowded.
Yeah, it's packed.
And
Yeah,
then,
that place gets extremely.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's like across the street, so like easy, you know.
Yeah, and then that's where like Ubers pick everybody up and everything too. So you can
Yeah.
go in there, have a couple beers,
Yep.
then just have an Uber swing by, pick you up.
yeah, and then I feel like an idiot because that's the first time like I realized where the pitch was.
The pitch.
Yeah, and it was a chill vibe. And then Cameron,
Yeah, yeah. So it was chill. There was, you know, sofas and kind of leather and that kind of thing. So it was like a relaxed environment. But the one thing we were looking for was more like kind of activities or whatever, like bags, darts, pool, stuff to do like that. But it wasn't there. But I mean, it was still fun. Everybody's walking up to Mondo the whole night, like, "Oh, referee!"
not for the podcast. Yeah.
It was like a
games
celebrity.
on games where we win or the refs don't, have a big part in the game, it's great. But whenever it goes the other way and the ref has a big part in us losing, people aren't so friendly.
yeah, we've learned the hard way.
Definitely. On multiple occasions. But what's the other? So Schlafly on the other side, I feel like they had bags and stuff over there.
I don't know. That's always like so. Every time we go out, like because that's where the bars are.
Right.
I don't think any. I don't know.
We
if
never
anyone
think
goes
about.
to Schlafly.
Well, that one time where we met Matt Baker
That's right. We did go
after the game, and
did
so
go there.
yeah, it gets. There's a lot of people in there too, but it's kind of a small spot too.
Yeah,
So
I think you'd
it's-
rather go where the cheaper beer is.
Yeah, definitely.
That's where we go. But I think overall, I think you had a great time. That was Cameron's first game
First home game.
with one of the city refs. Next time, we'll have
Yeah, next
both.
time you're gonna get the full experience.
Yes, full experience. But yeah, no, it was great all around. So really excited for more home games.
Yeah. Well, until the next game, boys.
All right.
All right, boys. It was a good podcast. Now remember, if you guys want to win some of the mem giveaways, follow us on social media. Make sure you like this video, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.